Good morning, children. So here's a continuation of the lesson, chapter 4, basic problems of an economy. So in the previous class, we had discussed the central problems of an economy, like what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So in addition to these central problems, okay, there are other three basic problems. Number one, the problem of fuller utilization of resources. Number two, efficient use of resources. And here number three is the problem of economic growth. So let's discuss the first one, the problem of fuller utilization of resources. So this is the most important, the problem faced by the all the economies of the world. Now this fuller utilization of resources means, okay, it is the employment and unemployment of resources. So as you know that the resources are limited in nature as compared to our human ones. So therefore we need to avoid wastage, or we should not leave these resources idle. Okay, idle, sorry. So it has to be utilized in the best possible manner. So what do you mean by unemployment of resources? That means it's like wastage. Okay. So unemployment of resources means the society is not able to choose or to get those goods and services that could have been produced with these resources. That means these limited resources are kept idle, isn't it? They are unutilized, they are not employed. So otherwise these resources, okay, they have been, or this particular resources, the idle resources, okay, it could have been used to produce certain goods and services to satisfy our want. Like you take the example, if the worker is not a laborer, if it's not employed for a day, that means his 1 day labor, that means his contribution towards the production for 1 day is lost forever. So therefore all the economies of the world, okay, they are concerned to prevent, or they are working hard to prevent this unemployment of resources. Okay. So point number 2 is the efficient use of resources. Now efficient use of resources means to avoid the wastage, to put those limited resources in the best possible manner, to use them in the best possible manner. How? By avoiding wastage. So this all you can refer your text also. It's on page number 58. Okay. So efficient use of resources means is avoiding the wastage of resources. Okay. And this efficient use of resources, like we can achieve, okay, in two ways. Like number one, you can see there, resources are allotted among different users in the best possible manners, so that we can get the maximum output, the maximum production. The main intention is to get more production. How? By using those resources in the best possible manner. So that's one way. Number two is goods and services are distributed in the best possible way, like to the consumers and all, so that they get the maximum satisfaction from the use of those goods. So these are the two ways in which you can achieve the efficient use of resources. Now in economies, like economic, the resources, the efficient use of resources means like a country, okay, it cannot produce more of one good, okay, without producing the less of another good. So now we'll move on to number 3, the problem of economic growth. So this is another basic problem, okay, faced by all the economies of the world. Now it means the problem of expansion of economy's capacity, that means a strength of the economy to produce more goods and services over time. Now how can we achieve, how economy can achieve, how it can expand its economic capacity, okay, the capacity to produce more goods and services? Number one, by increasing its resources, okay, by increasing the resources it can produce more goods. And second one is by putting those resources, okay, in the best possible use, by utilizing those limited resources in the best possible manner, that is increasing their efficiency. So in that way, an economy can overcome this problem, or it can lead to economic growth. So these are the three basic problems faced by economy. Now let us see the meanings of economic development and economic growth. So first let's see economic growth. So economic growth means is a process whereby the real per capita income increases over a long period of time. So you know already what's the meaning of per capita income. It is the average income of a normal resident of a country in a year, isn't it? So the per capita income, the real per capita income of the country increases over a long period of time, leading to economic growth. So there are 3 points, okay, which you have to remember. Number one, that means while defining economic growth, okay, the focus is on the rise in the per capita income. That means the average income of a normal resident of a country in a year. That means it's obtained by national income divided by the population. Then second one, the rise in the per capita income has to be in real terms. Now what does it mean? So here's an example. If a per capita income in terms of money, okay, increases by 10% and the price level has also increased by 10%. That means in this case the real per capita income will remain unchanged, okay, because the rise in the per capita income in terms of money also has increased by 10% and the price label has also increased by 10%. So the per capita, the real per capita income will remain unchanged, okay. So this would not lead to economic growth, okay. So what is required means the increase in the money value or the money income should be higher, okay, it should be higher than the increase in the price label, so that the real income increases, okay. So this is only then on an average the amount of goods, more goods and services will become available. So the rise in the per capita income has to be in terms of real terms, okay. Then number 3 is the rise in the per capita income. It has to be over a long period of time. Stress on long period of time, that's prolonged, like it should go on for the several decades, okay. So these are the 3 points, okay, which you have to remember while defining your economic growth. Now the next term is the economic development. Now what do you mean by economic development? So there are different the meanings, okay, given by different economists. So they have defined in different concepts. So yeah, so economic development means it's a process whereby the real per capita income of a country increases over a long period of time, along with reduction of poverty, inequality and unemployment, as well as various structural changes. That means your economic development, okay, the definition of economic development is very comprehensive in nature, in a sense that it takes economic development in a multi-dimensional sphere, okay, in a multi-dimensional sense. Like it has included the increase in the per capita over a long period of time, along with the reduction of poverty, eradication of unemployment, then removing inequality of income and wealth, isn't it, as well as the various structural changes. So therefore the definition of economic development has been taken in a very comprehensive sense. Now let's see the differences between economic growth and economic development. So point number 1, economic growth is a narrow concept, whereas economic development is a more comprehensive term, okay. Then number 2, economic growth, it refers to more output and how this more output is achieved from the use of more inputs and greater efficiency of inputs. Whereas on the other hand, the economic development, it goes beyond this to include the composition of output. It includes the allocation of resources to different sectors of the economy, such as agriculture, industry, and also various other changes, the structural changes. Then number 3, economic growth involves an increase in income. In growth, it involves an increase in income, whereas on the other hand, in economic development, it involves not only an increase in income, but also reduction of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. That means it's comprehensive. The economic development is wide. Okay, it's comprehensive in nature. Then number 4, economic growth is defined strictly in terms of economic indicator. That means income. Whereas on the other hand, economic development, it involves not only economic indicator, it not only includes income, but also non-economic indicators such as literacy, health services, etc. Then point number 5, economic growth involves only quantitative changes in the economy. That means in terms of quantity, amount. Whereas economic development on the other hand involves not only quantitative but many qualitative changes as well. That means it includes both the quantitative as well as the qualitative changes. That's under economic development. Then number 6, economic growth is easier to achieve. Okay, it's possible to increase output and income by using more and more inputs. Whereas on the other hand, the process of economic development is far more extensive. Okay, it involves a whole lot of changes in the society. Now, what type of changes? Changes in social structure, attitude, institution, okay, eradication of poverty, reduction of income inequality. Then number 7, economic growth, it relates to the problem faced by developed countries. That means economic growth, okay, it will deal with the problems which are mostly faced by the developed nations of the world. That means whose real per capita income is high. Whereas economic development, it relates to the problem faced by the present day developing country like India. Then number 8, the last point, economic growth differs from economic development in terms of degree of involvement and intervention by the government. So economic growth does not require much of government intervention, as we have already seen in point number 7, that they relate to the problems which are faced by the developed countries. Whereas in case of economic development, they relate to the problem faced by the developing nations. Okay, so where in economic growth, the government intervention is less, whereas in terms of economic development, it demands active participation or the involvement of the government. So these are the differences between economic growth and economic development.